Alright, let me give you all some information about the weather balloons. What we're going to do is we're going to put anywhere between 1,500 and 2,500 grams of hydrogen in them, depending on the weather outside, to achieve an ascent rate of about 1,000 feet per minute. So on a day like today, all we need is about 1,500. There's no clouds, no winds, no storms or anything. And these weather balloons are our biggest asset to forecasting for severe weather. What we do is when we release these, we normally attach an instrument called the radiosonde. This radiosonde has a temperature sensor, pressure sensor, and a dew point sensor, which allows us to get a vertical cross-section of the atmosphere to figure out how unstable or how stable the atmosphere is. We normally do 2 of these a day. We do them at 6 and 6 during daylight savings time, and during standard time we do them at 5 and 5. And whenever we have severe weather, we'll do one, maybe an extra 1 or extra 2 a day, depending on when the timing of the system. And like when we had that last event when we had the tornadoes across southeast Arkansas and further east, we did an extra balloon at 1 o'clock to help determine how the atmosphere had destabilized from earlier that morning. And that sounding right there was a crucial asset to forecasting severe weather for here and for downstream. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie off our little train, is what we call it, to this on. I'm going to have a parachute that whenever we send up falls, that it falls down at a safe velocity, so therefore if it falls on somebody, it doesn't actually create any kind of bodily harm. And then after that, I'm going to have about 25 foot of twine. We normally use about 120, which is going to actually be the distance between the balloon and the radiosonde. That way the balloon does not have any kind of impact whatsoever on the data that comes in on the radiosonde. So I'm going to go ahead and prep this on now. Prep the train. Alright, this is our basic parachute. Just a little orange parachute. That way it doesn't fall over, I think it's about 30 miles an hour is what it falls at when it reaches the ground. Normally this part I would do to be about 120 feet, but today I'm just going to do about 25 feet because when we go to release it later, we don't want it to accidentally swing around and hurt anybody. In the morning and overnight hours, we use glow sticks. Back in the day, we used to track balloons with something called a theodolite, where we'd actually have to watch the balloon and gather how fast it's moving to get wind speeds and telemetry on it. Nowadays, these glow sticks are kind of obsolete, but we still go ahead and attach them to the balloons when it's dark. That way, for any pilots who are flying around, you can see the instrument prior, so they can try to avoid any kind of contact with it. Although all of our instrumentation, balloon, twine, and everything is designed to go through a jet engine without causing any significant damage to it. These right here are counterweights that we use. These are, according to one of our LTECs, these are what they used back in World War II. I don't know if that's the case. But we have 200 grams, 100 grams, and 500 gram weights that we use as part of our counterweight system to measure the hydrogen going into the balloon. That way we don't overinflate or underinflate. At this point, our balloon would be finished, and I would normally go ahead and go inside and start working on the instrument itself. But instead today, we're going to go ahead and bring it back out where the earlier balloon was on display out by the front booth. So I guess it's time to go walk on down there with it.